This was part of the deal when Loyal Nobody donated $100 right at the beginning. He said he would donate $100 if I done a handbook reading on stream. So, here it is. Here it is. And we have this beautiful handbook. Most of the original document is now gone because we have this beautiful new snazzy one from Adiko who took all of the previous stuff. So he's not a direct admin involved with the event, but he's doing what's on in the background, and it's really appreciated. So the main organizational team is Hugh, Paradox, and Mifo, Welcome to Rapture, and Account. They were going to be main admins, and we have Adiko doing lots of all different things. Nerfox is our statistics guy, working with all the numbers. He's been doing the seeding, done an amazing job. He's got so much going on with university as well, exams, so it's really appreciated. And then T West is doing our maps. He is doing our maps, but we also have Zetnus, who did do the update of Two Rivers. So, big thank you to them. They've done an amazing job so far. And then we have additional staff coming in. We get Huggy, Agent P, Nico Drama, Adiko is going to be adminning the Silver as well. Daisy's going to be there, Big Walt, Mr. Beaver, and Bance. So we're well covered for all the additional leagues, which is nice. Advice to how to win the tournament. You just got to get good, Master Tim. You just got to get good. Simple as that. Beautiful contents page, looking nice. It's actually just a really nice handbook. Adiko's done an amazing job. Contact info we all have here on the third page. I even have my Gmail account if anybody wants to discuss anything privately. We had our nationality requirements, which is always going to be a difficult part of the sign-ups and the process. But essentially, someone had to be born somewhere, and that nation still had to exist. It had to have the passport, the citizenship to somewhere. Residency for a given nation, we're generally going for counts as 5 years or greater. And then, if you had parents from one of them, you could also go there. So we're just looking for like one of these. Didn't have to be all 4. If you have all of them, it's certainly better for your case. There were some cases where, well, we'll get onto that with this. If a player participated in the 2v2 World Cup or the AOE Olympics, he must compete for the same nation. We had a couple of players that actually played for different teams. So McLuffy played for France in AOE Olympics. For the 2v2 World Cup, he did play for Morocco. He's been more involved with Morocco, so we decided to give him entry for the Morocco team. The other instance was Warrior, who did play 2v2 World Cup with Ukraine, but has pretty much played everything else Russia, and we said he could play with Russia on this one. And more involved. They're both more involved, like respectively with Morocco and the kind of Russian community, so it made the most sense. For sure. And as far as I'm aware, Squeak for Hungary is pretty much... He's someone that did do AOE Olympics Slovakia, but he's someone that pretty much meets all of this as a Hungarian, more involved in the Hungary community, so it made sense for him to go there. But yeah, the rules are the guidelines, requirements we had, whatever we call it, there's simple. And obviously the requirements for AOE Olympics and 2v2 World Cup was totally different, so it's hard to get consistency, but it's the same organisers. But we would never expect those individuals to remain consistent with any future events we have now. Can I join Scotland? I've been excommunicated. Oh boy. That doesn't sound good for you, Sean. So our timelines all there. If anyone gets confused. See brackets announced 19 GMT in an hour and 30 minutes or so. Tournament start's going to be tomorrow, and we get the qualifier rounds all coming up. Going to be exciting times. This is a bit I had nothing to do. This is like so confusing when it gets to like a double elimination, especially in knockout stage. But we've got some periods here where the timings are a little bit longer. You can see like the group stage being completed to the round of 16. We extended because that's going to be when NEC is going on. So we're essentially saying that people have an extra week, which I think is pretty damn fair, right? I think it's very fair. Exclamation point handbook? I don't have it, actually. I actually don't have it. So, group stage. This is the format for the group stage. Very similar to what you would see like in the World Cup or the Champions League. But we have a double elimination after the groups, which means there's going to be lots of games, and it's going to be going on for quite a while. Essentially from the seeding. So teams could lose seed if they get upset. But the top 32, as it stands, would get put into 4 different pots. We have the invited teams already got 1 to 4. The other ones in the top 8 will be there. So B 9 to 16, C 17 to 24, and then D's 25 to 32. And then essentially we have a pot. We have the 4 pots, 8 groups, and then 1 team is selected from each one. Dead simple. And then it's play all 3 and group stages. And this is essentially what can happen. You get a 3-all victory, so it's a game. You get a point per game, and you get a point for winning the series as well. So a 3-all victory, you get a bonus point essentially. You go up to 4 if you win 2-1, you want to get 3. If you lose 2-1, you do get 1. But if you do get beat 3-0, you're gonna get 0. And of course, if you forfeit, so if you were down like 2-0 and you decide I'm not going to play the last game, you would end up getting a forfeit or an incomplete series there. Or let's say you're like towards the end of the group stages and you had been lost a game, you would get a -1 as well. The stream is for Sully, I'll ping him. Yeah. Definitely. Spam the emote. And then tiebreakers, we go to total number of points, which is of course going to be down to this enemy. It's all based on the results and the overall results. If we have to go beyond that, we'd go to overall records. So your actual series results, win versus tied opponents. So you might be drawn with someone. If your record's the same and you beat them, you'd be on the way up. Games difference could be a big difference. So if you won 3-0 and you're if all this is the same, the team had more like 3-0s versus 2-1s, of course go ahead then. Forfeits in there at number 5, so if you gave away any games, that would be number 5. Fair play is coming in, so we're now talking about the chances of it getting to number 6 are probably slim to none. But we're talking about like general attitudes in terms of like how players have behaved during the event, so to speak. We upload the cast from yesterday. Oh, I need to publish a VOD. I know it was only there for the first 4 games, Norfer. But yes, I had to rush out yesterday. So I've got the first 4 games. But not the last one. And this one is pretty much... The chances of us getting to number 8 is probably 0.01%. But this is actually the tiebreaker they have like in Champions League and the World Cup and stuff. Like you decide it with like a coin flip. Everything else is the exact same, which is crazy. Let me just, I'll go and publish it just now. Take 2 seconds. Is it done now? Yeah, so I just missed the BF game. I had like I had like 10-15 minutes. I made the plans, but we kind of brought them forward a little bit. The second ability knockout section is kind of vague. Double elimination phase will follow the group stages. Ties will be made up of first and second place finishers from each group. Teams will be seeded in this portion of the event based on the group stage performance, first place versus second place, so that's in the round of 16. If both teams finish first face each other, then the seeding sheet would be used. So that's like for quarterfinals, because it's all going to be like, if you have two first teams, like for quarterfinals, if that makes sense. If you have two first place finishers facing each other, we then have to refer to the seeding sheet. We're going to try and use like tournament performance as much as we can, but yeah, probably right. R base. Let me write it down. Let me write it down. This is why we do this. Prize pool section. Hoping this will be growing, of course. But the percentages are all set in stone. Essentially, this all will be changing. We're currently at $2,000 for the first place team, which depending on how many players you have. If you have 10 players, it's only 200 each. If you have 4 players, it's 500 each. And we do have the splits for like 6, which I think is like the average. Could be wrong. And then we have some of the prize pool has been allocated to the Silver League. And then all the donations are just coming through the Maggiorino. Let's have a quick look and see where we're at. We're over 12k, as far as I'm aware. We are. I think it's just maybe cut off. You can see the 12. So yeah, hopefully that will continue to grow. Not really bothered if it gets A tier, S tier on Wikipedia. It's going to be a great event. Anyway, and to me that's not really important. Our donator tiers we all have, so platinum, gold, silver, bronze, and green. Just kind of a nice thing to give people. Especially if we're in a Discord, and generally speaking, the bigger the donation, the more of like a song and dance we'll make of it. I am sure I put the donors in. Maybe I need to re-upload. Huh. But we have in Mifo, one of the admins, donated over 1,000. The Mad Cadder donated over 1,000. Flux and Tarsus are also in like 500 each. And then I think that's it. And then I've added Go Calderon and Capture Age to the Platinum supporters as well, since they've donated an overlay. And Go Calderon has done a lot of the artwork. So a lot of labor involved. How big a donation for you to literally make a song and dance? It's probably not that big a number, Spud. Depends on like how good you want it to be, you know? So steps you need to take, joining and register using the official Discord. Mainly the captains, it doesn't really need to have every player in there, but it does help for communications in terms of like people missing some things, and it's just a bit more. What's the right word I'm looking for? Less chance of error. I guess I needed multiple words, but all good. Registration closed yesterday. This is one thing that got me in the registrations. It's like, please provide the following sign-up info for your team. Just ask for, we just asked for nation names, and before we knew it, people were going for nation name, and then also and then giving themselves letters like F and Z and S and all these other things. We didn't ask for people to do that. You Dutchies are just moist Germans. Well, just the registration rules. The seeding, of course, was a new process we had to do. This has already been covered a little bit, but it's good to put it in multiple places at times. But the actual seeding used 1v1, current and peak, and then the current team game elo, because obviously the peaks of team game elo is kind of fucked. We didn't really have a tool in place, the infrastructure, to like take the highest rating within like the last month or something. But that would probably be preferred for any future events. Just talking about active account, we didn't require this, but it certainly does help. And it was like the top 4 from each team, but it could have been there's that there. It could have been like 1v1 players just contributing to the 1v1 rating, and team game players can contribute to that. So 1, 9, 17, 25 could be in the same group. Yes. Yes. There is a couple of groups. There is some really tasty groups of death. The one drawback, is not everybody got fully involved with the seeding process in terms of like grinding for rank, which does kind of upset things a little bit in terms of the process. So yeah, some teams are not going to be happy with who they get in the main stage for sure. So Finland and Brazil did get an original invite for making the finals of the 2017 SY Nations Cup. Brazil did have one, but then they changed their squad. So they didn't have the 3 players again. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame for them. But in the end, did make the other top 3. So they ended up getting invited. I grinded my team game rating by 100 points, minus 100. Were you playing with randoms, or were you in a stack? Disaster. You need to play with people you know. It's just a disaster playing with randoms. I think I've lost like 150 elo points trying to play like random team games. It's a terrible idea. Not went well at all. So we're not really saying by any means that this formula is perfect, but we're kind of happy with the effect it's had. Team games, of course, had a crazy increase in numbers, so. I'm happy with that. This is by no means perfect, though. I'm not going to claim it is. So this is the model of the kind of, well, the flow that goes in the tournament and where people are going to go. Obviously, we have the top 4, already there. So we're kind of in this. The qualifiers are gonna then place you into your certain league. So if you're gonna like exit at the very earliest stage, I believe you go into Wood League. I can't remember the exact details. It's got it here actually, which is quite nice. But essentially for main event, the top 32 teams will be there. 8 groups of 4. 16 will advance into the double elimination stage, and then the bottom 16 on main event are going to drop into Silver League, and the Silver League have 16 teams that also goes into that stage. So that'll be like third and fourth place finishers, and then first and second from this part, and then they're going to meet up, and that'll be the Silver League single elimination to finish it off. And even the Silver League dropping into so the bottom 12 teams will drop into the bronze here. And the same for the bronze to the wood. So it's kind of nice if you even finish third or fourth in your group, you're going to drop into something else. There is the chance that teams don't want to play, or the kind of their motivation goes afterwards for that. But there'll certainly be opportunities there. That is always a risk with these ones, where you have like third and fourth place finishers drop into, because they've probably maybe not had a very good time, so they drop into a lower bracket. And they should have more competitive games. The balance might not be completely right, but sometimes teams just can't be bothered. We got a lot of top teams in the ladder lately. Yeah. The matchmaking is insane. So you can see that's the main event. The blues for the 4 invited. Other ones here in the grey. This is just explaining the kind of flowchart a little bit better. And we have the Wood League, because apparently there was a wooden spoon for all the other ones. This is something I do like about the Silver League. So when we get to the knockout stage for it, it's a single elimination knockout style bracket. So it's not just like a straight one. So the Silver League first and second place finishers will get drawn against each other. Then the gold fourth place finishers will play the winners of that. And then the winner of that matchup is going to play the third place finishers from the gold, if that makes sense. So I'd never seen a bracket like this, but Adiko, when I said single elimination knockout bracket, this is what you showed me, and I was like, it's actually a really good idea. It's actually a really good idea. Instead of just throwing everybody in at the one point. Why not announce the stream in the Nations Cup Discord? Didn't really want to. Arbase. Didn't really want to. I'll put the I'm gonna put the stream up on YouTube, and I'm gonna slice it up, so if anyone wants to watch it, they can watch it in a couple of days. Same thing for the Bronze League, which is kind of nice. And Wood League just looks like an afterthought. So there's our maps that we have so far. We added Migration today, which is the most popular out of all the maps that were voted. How's it going, Mike? But Arabia, Chaos Pit, Team Macro, Nomad, Team Islands, Arena, Golden Lakes, Two Rivers, and BF. And then we list like the changes that are going in here as well. But the Arabia script was Savannah from Battle of Africa 3. We did make some changes. Oh, it's not changed. God damn it. So we changed it, and then Adiko sent me another one. I guess he must have been using the old handbook. GD. GD. The Chaos Pit is a Return of the Clans, but we moved the relics to the outside. Team Macro was the NC zone. You can see here the rocky terrain does touch, so we made sure it doesn't touch at all. We're going to decide if it was 3 or 9 on Arena. We decided to go for 3 in the end. Team Islands is pretty much the DE script. Nomads is pretty much DE script, but it's got no treaty boxes. BF is the Rage Forest one. It needs an update to Rage Forest 4. Two Rivers was an original script by HGFE, which is now by Zetnus, and then Golden Lakes was the NC Zone one made by Samedo. And this was our map vote that was going on. It concluded today. We now have 4 more maps that are going to join the pool. Migration was the most popular. It's already in, and then we have 3 more kind of like categorized maps. So we have Michi, Regicide Fortress and Hideout. In the closed section, Nomad Star is African Clearing, Land Nomad. And then we've got Other, which is just Frontline and Mega Random. I don't know what I want. I'd kind of like to see Frontline there. I'm not a massive fan of African Clearing on or Land Nomad in team games, in all honesty. I think that's probably going to be pretty close. Not a big fan of Mega Random in team games either. But then for the closed one, I'd probably really prefer Regicide Fortress, if I'm being honest, in comparison to Hideout and Michi. That's what I would like. But I don't have any say in this. And if any players want a map to be included, I suggest that you campaign for it. And you vote is the main thing. If you don't vote, then you're not giving yourself a very good position to complain. It's like politics. You have to participate in politics. Our map drafts will get updated once qualifiers are done. So this is just going to go into Play All Free. This will turn into Play All Free. We have our best of 5 draft, and we need to come up with a solution for best of 7, but it's so far away. We're not gonna. This is just something that's shelved for the meantime. That'll be. That's honestly really far away now that I'm thinking about it, but it's complicated with best of 7. We're probably gonna have either there's like 2 ways you can go around it. You can have like 2 drafts, and then for like a certain amount of games. I'm probably not a massive lover like that. Or you have like some sort of like you have some sort of process like a draft where both of the teams pick from like a shared pool, and then you have like exclusive civs for the rest of them. Just like a normal draft. I kind of prefer that option. Best of 7 games will take a long time. It depends on the maps. I think a lot of the maps are actually quite snowbally. And then it also depends on the level of the teams, right? If you have like an imbalance, then the games will be over pretty fast. But yeah, like best of 7 in the finals should, in theory, be long. That'll be good. I'll be looking forward to chilling out and laying in bed all day watching it. Very relieved by that point. Maybe I needed to update that. Not a massive issue. Scheduling, kind of hard. We do have CrabFit, which is a really nice kind of tool. you just give your event name and you kind of like fill it in the calendar of what the times you can do, and then it'll essentially tell you when you have like overlap, which is nice. There was also a tool made by Salted, which is much appreciated. His is like on Google Sheets, and all you gotta do is go to File and make a copy. Just here. But you can see he's got everyone's in here. Like AJ, Salted, 8 Spy, Darknib, Minflower. No Strode. No Strode. I don't know what's going on there. But I think it's just as an example. And it should come up with like times you can play. So there's a couple of tools there. Scheduling 4v4 team games is not the easiest process. Not the easiest process by any means. One issue we did have with the show matches is kind of like the punctuality of teams. So we're now kind of expecting... Did I not cheat? I'm sure... I changed this. Nice anthem. I need to look at it. I'm pretty sure I said 15 minutes. Before now, the draft should be completed. I need to find it. Can do that after the stream. This is Italy, right? Yeah. But basically, people should be there on time. If you're meant to start at 17 GMT and you get there at 17:25 and you've not communicated at all, and the team asks for an admin win for game number 1, I will be granting it. Most likely. 90% likely. 99% likely. But if players work it out, and if like given a reason and whatnot, then no issue, right? Not a massive issue for me. Can I have an admin win for game 1 of a practice match you played today? Depends who you were playing, Robo. Because obviously I have favourites and whatnot. So, if I like them, probably not. And if I don't like them, you'll get an admin win, Kappa. So this was something that came quite apparent. Yeah, this is not right. I did add stuff here. I think a Deco's taken the old handbook. Or maybe I gave him the wrong link. So when somebody crashes or desyncs, whatever it is, or just disconnects in general. No, I did put this in. It's staring me right in the face. The player that disconnected must rehost the lobby. Where is the version control SMH? We were all working on the same document, but then a decode that took it away, which made things a bit confusing. Technical difficulties with the handbook, yeah. On the show match yesterday, our base we had 0 issues, and we think it's we think we have 0 issues when we rename the maps with like version files. So we're on like 0.1 or whatever it is, and it'll go to 1.1 once the qualifiers are started, and maybe like 2.1 when we get to main event. What if the player that dropped doesn't have a restore file? Then you need to try the other one, right? From someone else. But generally speaking, the player that did drop should be trying it. There's really a lot of different situations we could go through there. It might result in having to replay the game completely. It might result in someone conceding the game. It might result in two teams not agreeing that the game was over. There's lots of different things that could happen there. This is a really important rule. Participants must own a genuine copy of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. I don't think it's ever been broken, this rule. I would be kind of surprised if it had. Not gonna lie. That would surprise me. NLC gets admin for most players watching the Handbook stream. Pog. Just talking about communication, being in voice chats, potentially getting outside information, which is not fantastic, of course. Very hard thing to prove, but I would just suggest don't put yourself in that situation. If you are in a voice chat with someone, and you're not, obviously you're in a team game, right? You're not going to be deafened. If someone comes in and starts talking, I would tell them to mute and shut up. And that's probably going to be the best thing you can do. If they want to be in there and you've got like POV on or something, there needs to be like clear rules in your Discord, wherever it is. It's not something we can police all the time, is it? Respect and cooperation. Just have a proper attitude with each other. Shouldn't be difficult, right? Poor behavior, insults, racism, sexism will not be tolerated. Taking time between games shouldn't be like 15-20 minutes, of course. Pretty simple stuff. Mods should be ones that are only public available. Rules and maps can be added at any time. Pretty simple stuff. Game restart we did change. So the game restart was removed, and it now only applies to Nomad. And I think most teams are unlikely to take it anyway, because there's always a good chance that you could get fucked even more. At point 12. Yeah. Standard stuff, though. So the thing is with Nomad, there's also there's obviously no guarantee. You could have like a bad spawn, and maybe this is where you make your decision over, but your opponent could have an even worse spawn. I think you only use a restart in Nomad unless something like terrible goes wrong, which is very unlikely when you don't have any layman and shit show stuff going on, so should be alright. And we just have the admin reads for BF in terms of dockable lakes, and obviously that's going to be a big advantage if I think it's even a big advantage if you have a 2 delta head start, but it shouldn't be occurring on this Rage Forest script. Use it if you TC one tree, exactly. Or if it takes really long to get like your TC down or something. Yeah, it does need an update, Robo. I'm just noting that down. It's an interesting one. Pausing. Hopefully there's no issues where players are unpausing like unnecessarily, like throughout the game. I honestly I don't mind it. As long as it's for something important, but if someone's like expecting like a phone call or something, oh god. The cat sitting on your keyboard, I mean it's just common sense, isn't it? Yes. Yes, that would be fine. Basically, just don't take the piss. Don't start playing games, other games on stream. If the game has gone on for, like, again, that's like a common sense thing, isn't it? You need to go take a shit, you pause and go take a shit. But you don't pause to, like, go have your dinner and lunch or something like that. If you need to smoke, you just fucking light up a fag. The sling rules, you can only sling... So, unless you're an Imperial Age, you can sling each other. You can only sling an age down. Pretty simple stuff. I did add this in. If a player slings accidentally and the other teammates notices, he'll be allowed 30 seconds of in-game time to send the resources back. Like, if this is something that players, like, teams do repeatedly, then we might take issue with it. But essentially, when you send resources, you're getting taxed anyway. So if someone, like, does it, and they just send it back, and someone else notices, you can't be... I think that's fine, especially when you're in a big team. Schroed one's left being said to go eat dinner versus... Oh my god. The Nomad rules I've been working on for quite a bit of time. Essentially, they won't have any laymen and any bad shit going on. Short-term loans are okay. Can we add an exception about slinging someone in a TC if we don't have one? Thought about it? I don't think so. I don't think so. So even if you misclick on the start of the game as a lame, you can still make up for it. So if you kill a deer, which is actually 2 clicks, or 1 click, you don't notice, you can still gather the food, like 1 full trip, 35. If it's like a sheep or a buffalo, you need to do 2 full round trips. So if that buffalo is dead, far from your TC, then that's going to be even tougher to do. Basically, given you still get the resources, of course, but it's like the punishment is giving your villager idle time at a crucial point of the game. Could you drop the food off at your dock? I would say yes. It's hard to say. It is hard to say. Maybe need a reward to TC. That is an interesting consideration. Noted. Block caps. Essentially, just don't be a dick in the first 3 minutes of the game. It's really easy. It's really easy if you just have that code. But, you know, not everyone can do that. Lobby settings can be quite difficult, especially if, like, you would expect everyone to be like your national team to be in the same country. That's not going to be the case, but you might need to be doing some like server swapping in something. So you maybe have a bad game, or you maybe have a bad game on a server you don't like, and then the next game you would get a better server, and the opposite for the other team, which is sometimes just the fairest way of doing it. Highest the team gets to choose the color scheme. The lobby settings all here. Posting recorded games. I've even said zip folders are acceptable. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Don't let anybody tell you I'm not. I'm a huge dick. Robo. Like, good guys can't pretend to be bad boys. It just doesn't look cool. Doesn't look cool. How else would the regs be posted? Honestly, I don't mind if they just get posted all, like, dragged on. That's absolutely fine for me. As long as they're attached, somehow. Not everyone knows how to make a zip. There's our broadcasting, our streaming materials. Don't forget to add the extension for Fortress and Regicide. It needs to get in there. Which games will result in people posting 2 games for Blaster Free and spoiling it? Oh! Whoa, wait. Hell, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's not a 2. That's not a 2. That's a 14 now. Oh, Robo, Jesus Christ. Bruv. Bruv. Cog Champ. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was like, I want to take another look at this and see where we're at. And I've seen like the 1 at the front. I've seen the rest of it all the same. And I was like, no, that wasn't a 2. That wasn't a 2. Does that make it a Microsoft sponsored event now? Depends where the funds are coming from, right? I mean, I guess in a roundabout way, if Robo's had his paychecks, I guess you could say it is. I expect all the admin ones. I wouldn't hold your breath. But that's amazing. Thank you so much. We'll make sure we give you a platinum tier supporter, player in Discord. Get you added to the handbook. That's really, really appreciated. Thank you so much. And if you haven't done the tasks on the right-hand side here, guys, the sponsor quest, you just can't see it, but the purple and the blue is. You just have to click follow on social media accounts, and it adds to the prize pool. It's added, there's 100, 125, 130-ish dollars so far. I'd like to get that to like the 300 mark if we can. All free tasks, which is amazing. But Robo with the 2 grand, wow, awesome. And there's just our logos. We have an alternate logo just for the text if you want to make that a little bit more... if you want to make it a little bit more visible, because the Nations Cup's quite small on the graphic logo. There's just our changelog in there, and we'll have a few more things to change in the next couple of days. I told you I'd be donating once sign-up was closed. Mate, I had not forgotten. Sign-up's closed last night. I was starting to get a little bit concerned. I was starting to get a little bit concerned. And obviously, I didn't ask how much you'd be donating, and I had no idea. I wasn't expecting 2k, so... it's amazing.